As the night went on, Minsu and Sunjin lay in bed together. He held her tightly in his arms, looking at her. Feeling shy, Minsu asked why he was staring at her so much. Sunjin told her that he had gone too long without seeing her face and wanted to make up for the days he couldn't. Minsu smiled, happy to be back in her man's arms. Sunjin moved closer and kissed her again. He slowly looked into her eyes and told her he loved her deeply. Blushing, Minsu told him she loved him too. She then asked if his family was upset about his decision not to show up at the wedding. Sunjin told her he didn't care and that all he wanted was her. Concerned, Minsu asked about Tech Bloom and how it would be saved now that he had left. Sunjin reassured her that she was more important than Tech Bloom and that he was willing to leave everything behind as long as he could be with her. He added that they could start their life together, and since they were both smart, they could build the future they wanted for themselves and their children. Hearing him say this melted Minsu's heart. She held his hand and kissed it. Sunjin jokingly told her that if she had missed him that much, she should give him a proper kiss. Minsu blushed, and Sunjin laughed, enjoying teasing her, knowing it would make her shy. He continued to tease her, pulling her closer and looking at her with a serious expression. Worried, Minsu asked if he was okay. Sunjin told her he had another plan for being with her. When she asked what it was, he pulled her even closer and told her he wanted to get her pregnant at that moment. Blushing, Minsu tried to move away, but Sunjin laughed and told her he was joking. He added that he would love to have a baby with her, but only after they were married, as it wouldn't be right to bring a child into the world just to save their relationship. Minsu playfully hit his chest, scolding him for joking too much. Sunjin got out of bed and told her he had something to give her. Curious, Minsu sat up and asked what it was. He knelt before her and took out the engagement ring she had given back to him. Looking into her eyes, he told her he wanted a second chance to prove that he was the kind of man who could protect and fight for her for the rest of her life. He asked if she would be his wife and walk through life with him. Smiling, Minsu stretched out her hand and said yes. Excited, Sunjin slipped the ring back onto her finger and pulled her into his arms, falling onto the bed with her as they laughed and cuddled under the covers. The next morning, Minsu and Sunjin walked hand in hand into the restaurant, smiles on their faces. She approached her father and told him they wanted to talk to him. He agreed, and they sat together in his office. Minsu's father looked at Sunjin, who was holding his daughter's hand, and broke the silence by asking why Minsu had spent the night with Sunjin when they had been expecting her at home. Sunjin quickly apologized on her behalf, explaining that they had spent the whole night talking and lost track of time. He assured him that nothing had happened. Minsu's father looked at him sternly and reminded him that Minsu was still his daughter and belonged to her family since she was not yet married. Sunjin interrupted, explaining that they were engaged again and wanted his blessing for their marriage. He added that he hoped Minsu's mother would be around so they could receive blessings from both parents. Minsu's father looked at him thoughtfully and expressed his concern that giving his blessing would be like signing his daughter over to Sunjin. He wanted to be sure that Sunjin would protect her at all costs. Sunjin reassured him, saying he would lay his life on the line for Minsu and that he loved her more than anything. Still concerned, Minsu's father asked about Sunjin's family, mentioning that they would also need his family's blessings. He questioned what would happen if they refused to give them and continued to oppose the marriage. Without hesitation, Sunjin told him he would go through with it anyway. He had already lost Minsu once and was not willing to lose her again, even if it meant going against his family. Impressed by Sunjin's resilience, Minsu's father smiled and told him that he trusted him with his daughter. He was confident that even when he and his wife were not around, Sunjin would take care of Minsu just as they had. Finally, he gave them his blessing. Overjoyed, Minsu and Sunjin stood up and thanked him before heading to Minsu's mother's house to seek her blessing as well.